is a question that I often ask, like, CEOs of big companies. What is the thing that they've had to work on throughout their career to become better at? And, some say patience, some say focus. So go there. What have you had to work on?
Hiring. Getting good people is very difficult, and I think everyone here has touched on it already, that it's really all about team. It's not just the work that's being accomplished and the sort of efficiency of that process, but also the enjoyment thereof. And if you're working with someone that you really don't like, you're not going to enjoy the experience of doing the project. So I very quickly found out that I wasn't the best at hiring when I started out, and I had some unfortunate experiences. But then I quickly iterated and realized that there are things that you can do and things you can look out for to improve that experience. And by the same token, if you do that with everything, obviously you won't be great at everything, but I've been able to unearth some knowledge about things that I otherwise wouldn't have known about just by iterating and engaging in a lot of different things and engaging with a lot of different people and getting a lot of different perspectives.
I'm just going to build off that because mine is kind of similar. So Givology is a 100% volunteer-based organization. So that means we don't have any full-time staff. We don't pay anyone to do it. So I think that's a good thing and a bad thing. It's a great thing because everything is free for us. We get people to donate a little bit of their time, their talent, their resources, and we get a lot out of it. But one thing that we experienced the first year was, we're trying to manage 100 different people, all with this tiny little project, and it's very, very difficult for full-time students or full-time young professionals to do that. I think one thing that we sort of changed, the second year was we really just had to be, a lot more selective in who we would, ask to help out with different volunteer projects. And I think in doing that, we were still able to get a lot of free, service hours, but at the same time, the quality went way up.
One of the things that I don't want to steal your thought completely, that I've had to deal with a lot is getting away from micromanaging. When I first started these projects, the team was just me. And then I took 2 years off after high school to build out the team and start working on the Uno. Then I started school, then I started the second company, which is actually based out of Toronto, while I lived in Boston. And I had to learn how to really stay almost hands-off, get as much information as I needed to make decisions at our weekly meetings, and especially managing a company that was in a different country while we're going through development process and raising money. And now I'm taking this semester off school to, again, refocus the companies, and then I want to go back full-time in the fall. And it's been a very difficult process in making the companies independent, but it's still at a point where I'm making the decisions, and that's been a pretty big learning curve for me.
So how many people are you working
So
with?
We have 2 separate teams of 5 people, 5 core people for the Uno, 5 core people for the DTV. They have separate offices, separate machine shops, and then there's sort of we farm out additional work because a lot of specialists are expensive. So if we need specialists for a few hours of their time, it's better to do that than hire them. So then there's like maybe 8 people that sort of advise the company.
How much money have you raised?
So for the Uno, I've raised a little over $1 million for it, and for the DTV, I've now raised $250.
Good, great.
So I'm an engineer and a designer by training, so I'm trained to be very honest and very direct and about sort of things, and that makes me not great at sales. So there are better ways to say certain things than the way that I would tend to say them about our product, and that's one of my weaknesses, so sales and networking. And I found, actually, in a lifelong friend of mine, a friend from kindergarten, somebody who is very, very good at that. So I've sort of offset my own sort of, the things that I've been trained to do by somebody who is very skilled in that, the art of sales, where I'm good at the art of engineering. He is excellent at that. So just offset it by finding somebody who's very talented that I can trust to handle the things that I'm not so good at.